What's up YouTube, it's JB Tech Fanatic and we're back again with another video. As always, I want to start this video by thanking each of you for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed, I'd be so honored if you'd consider doing so. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to know when the latest content is available, don't forget to click the notification icon. We're back with the virtually invisible speakers or the surround speakers, and of course the brand new BoseSmartSoundbar700 speakers. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that months back I did a complete series on the whole Bose 700 system, but we all know times have changed with the release of the BoseSmartSoundbar700 speakers, and then the new software updates that have come to the system have made great improvements. So I thought what we would do today is not just compare the two surround speakers, but we'll go ahead, I will show you how to maximize the potential of your system through setup. We'll do a brief setup with the app to get us up and running, and then I will go through my new settings. We'll go through what software you want to be looking for and all the stuff you need to know to maximize the potential of your 700 system. I'm so thankful you're here. Let's get started. All right, I'm gonna try to do this video much quicker than my first setup video. So if you need to pause it at any time to see my screenshots, go ahead and do so. First thing I want you to do is get a clean, fresh modem and router. So go ahead and turn off your modem and your router, wait a full 60 seconds, plug back the modem first, and once the modem's plugged in, then go ahead and plug in the router, let that fully boot up. Next, HDMI ARC. Most TV manufacturers only put one ARC support on their HDMIs, and some don't have it. So the best thing you can use is HDMI. If that's not available, go ahead and use optical. This is the Samsung QLED TV. I will show you some settings in this one, but just make sure you're putting it ARC to ARC or your sound will not work. Then I am doing the complete system. That includes the rear speakers, the sub, and the 700. I now switched my bar to the white variant. I want to say really quickly, it is beautiful. I actually prefer it over the black. I didn't realize how nice it would be. Just wanted to point that out. However, it is still the 700 from my first setup video, but everything has changed with new software. Now, next thing you want to do is you want to start getting everything set up. Download the Bose Music app. Once the Bose Music app is downloaded, it's going to search for your devices. Now, we're already all plugged in, and the first thing that's going to pop up is your soundbar. Go ahead and touch your soundbar. Once you do, it's going to tell you that there's a software update. Make sure that you do the software update. This is crucial. I also want to say that the software update has changed this system so much from the beginning, and it really has taken it to the next level. Also, you will not be able to do anything while the bar is updating, and it can take a half hour depending on how fast your internet is. It could take even longer. Don't think it's not working. Once it's finished, the bar will repopulate on your app and then it will let you continue. The firmware that we are starting with, so you want this or better, is 4.1.1-6679 plus CB4C111. That is the latest and greatest, and that is the one that you want. All right, so now we're gonna go into setup. Once we are finished with that, we are now updated, is going to ask us accessories. And like I said, to have 5.1, you must have rears, you must have a sub, and you must have the bar. That is the only way you can achieve 5.1. And for those of you wondering, yes, you can run two subs on this system or on the virtually invisible 300, or sorry, the SoundTouch 300. Got the rear speakers. Anyway, next one, accessories. Screenshot up, go ahead and hit connect. It's going to tell you to go ahead and plug them all in. Remember, they all have power to them. They all must be plugged into the wall, even though they're wireless. Next, it's going to say searching for speakers. If your speakers do not populate, you should see, the Bose Bass Module 700. You should see your rears populate. If it doesn't, excuse me, unplug them from the wall, wait 60 seconds and plug them back in. It will eventually populate. Okay, next. The ADAPTiQ process. You want to make sure that you have the speakers where they will be left. before you run this process. So hold off on that for a second and let's go to remote setup. The remote for the Bose, a lot of people have wrote me, they had some problems connecting. Really, the idea here is that one, you want to have all your stuff accessible. Pointing the remote, I actually just left it up here and then I use my phone. It says remote setup, it says setup now. Go ahead and press that. It will tell you that the test series of codes, don't worry if it doesn't work, all attempts successful or not, we will get it right. Basically, more or less is what it says. And then it says, make sure your device is powered on. Of course, we're starting with our TV. If you do only one, you don't even plan on doing this, at least do it with your TV. If you don't, you're gonna have problems with it turning on and off with your TV. Don't ask me why, but they still haven't fixed that. So make sure to very least program it with your Samsung TV. And by the way, the manual code is 00060 for Samsung. And if you guys need help with a different manufacturer, you can always reach me in the comments and I'll give that. So it'll test some codes. It'll ask you to turn it on and off. All right, go ahead and test the volume. Make sure it turns the volume up. And then that's finished. If you want to do other devices, it will ask you if you want to do more, and it will give you a list of your streaming device, game console, DVD player, cable, satellite, all that great stuff. So once that's done, it'll say universal remote setup complete. Next, a huge thing that was added to this bar, and I complained about it in the first one, is they added Google. So there's Amazon Alexa or Google. To do that, we're gonna go with Google. That's my favorite. Press the Google Assistant. It's gonna ask you to sign into your Google account. It's gonna ask you to give permission to the Bose so that they can work together. And then it's gonna look for your devices, device found, you're gonna name it. I name mine family room, and then done. Voice complete. Setup is now complete. Okay, now we're gonna go into setup and the ADAPTiQ process. All right, setup. Before you do the ADAPTiQ, let's talk about environment. Now, if you've watched my last video, you know that I believe that it's all about the environment. Dolby Atmos is something that Bose does not have on its product currently, and it is something that, people give it a lot of backlash for. Now, here's the thing. Bose has been doing something for a very long time. Their stadium sound, to me, is a lot like Atmos. It's not the same, digital format or software, but if you do it right, you can get the same kind of immersion. Now, we don't have up-firing speakers, but now we have the 700 rears. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up again is because with these, setup has changed a little bit. So let me just go over everything as if you've never seen it before, because there might be new viewers here. The soundbar. The soundbar you want to have about, a foot in front of a wall. You want nothing behind it, because there is bass chambers or air chambers that go out the back. You want them to be able to utilize that back wall and not have anything blocking them. On this TV here in this room, I actually left a gap on the TV on purpose. Now I have it where, there's about that much of a gap, but what happens is the sound actually goes back through the TV and it kind of ricochets and bounces and gives me that immersion from the bar itself. On the sides, 10 to 15 feet, you want a wall on each side. You never want to do stuff like my wife has this here. Anytime I watch, I take those away. I want nothing blocking any of the speakers. I don't want it directly in front of my sound, okay? Next, the sub. You have to have, by the way, the sub, the soundbar, and one of the rear speakers sets to get 5.1. In addition to that, for those of you wondering, yes, you can run 2 subs if you want. Don't need to do that anymore with the software update. We'll talk about that in a second. But I do not recommend that you use these speakers on a wall mount. Get a stand. Now, I'll leave links in the description. You can kind of check out both. There's not a lot yet for them since this has a different connector on the bottom. But what you want is is remember, we have sound now coming out of all 4 sides. That gives you a new immersion that we do not have with this. These are a bigger a bigger speaker, but they're directly pointed at you or wherever you point them. This actually shoots sound around everywhere. Now, because of that, it's giving you that whole new immersion, and to me, I think that my system set up the way it is sounds like a Dolby Atmos theater. Here it is. 1 foot in front of a wall on a stand is the best thing you can do, or if you have a table. Don't put any photos next to it. Try to keep it completely clear. That way the sounds will bounce off the walls also. And I tell you what, it's pretty cool. I have watched a few movies that I watched with the regular ones, and you can hear all kinds of new sounds, you know, birds chirping, gunshots, that kind of thing. So 1 foot in front of the wall on a wall or table. Make sure the table doesn't vibrate, and then you will get that immersion. Then, of course, we talked about the soundbar, walls on each side, about 1 foot in front of the wall. The next is the sub. The sub could be very, very powerful. Put it in the corner of a room. Then I touch it to my couch. Now, I have a big, heavy couch that doesn't vibrate, but what it does is, I don't know if you've been to the new AMC theaters, the Dolby Vision, and they have all that cool vibrating seats and stuff. The sub will do that for you in your house. So sub in the corner with it touching one of your biggest couches. Then 2 on the left and right side behind you with about 1 foot behind a wall and nothing directly. And then of course we talked about this. Now it's time to run the ADAPTiQ process. I'll show you the photos of it real quick here. This is what it looks like. Put on your headset. It's gonna lead you through the process. It's gonna have you go to 5 spots. Make sure that you move all around the room to really get it to calibrate it. Once it's done, it's done. If you ever move your stuff, you have to redo it. With music, sometimes just clicking it off, and I'll show you here how to click it on and off, it sounds better with like different music. You could play with that. But when you're watching a movie, ADAPTiQ always on, maybe with some sort of music, you could shut it off, but then just turn it back on with the switch. Once that's complete, now we're ready to get into sound test. Let's see what this can do. I do want to say this right off the bat. I love these speakers. They are very quality. I love the way they look. I thought that they were really small, and I was kind of thinking, how are they going to work? I will tell you, any day of the week, I would pick these over these. Now they're $500. That's a lot of money. These are $300. If you can't afford the $500, there's nothing wrong with that. $300's a ton of money, right? Just stick with these. You definitely want to complete this system with everything. It's just not worth it if you don't. All right, so we have the Samsung QLED. I want to cover one quick thing, and that's the settings on the TV themselves. A lot of people have contacted me because Dolby Digital will not highlight. Let me tell you this. The reason that is not everything is being output in Dolby. If it's not, it will not highlight. What you need to do in your TV is hit the menu, go to settings, go down to sound. Now on sound, you'll see that I have HDMI, so this is using ARC support. If you go down here now, go down to expert settings, you see that we have our stereo format, PCM, and then the digital output audio of Dolby Digital. First thing I want you to do is turn delay to 0. A lot of people complain about the audio delay. If you turn this to 0, that will fix it. Definitely do that. But go down here to digital output, and if you see we have PCM, just basic stereo. That's what a lot of people are complaining that they can't get to the next step. Once you have a source, so my Voodoo account's on, the movies support Dolby Digital, I have it activated, so it's highlighted. If you want Dolby Digital Plus on your Samsung TV, though it might highlight, it's not supported except for Samsung soundbars. So you could try it. If it cuts out and stuff, that's your problem. One person was saying my bar keeps cutting out. That was the problem. Had them switch it up to Dolby Digital. We're all good. But if you are running into this not letting you go down to Dolby Digital, that means that either A, you're not hooked up correctly, or B, you are trying to put Dolby Digital on and it's not being pushed out by your outsource, meaning your Blu-ray player, your game console, your dish network provider, whatever it is, that's the reason. Other than that, the setup is very simple. Basically, audio delay to 0, And then of course, Dolby Digital click to on, and I say PCM over Bitstream. The only reason why I say that is Bitstream was kind of cutting out on me also. But once that's done, you're ready to roll. If at that point Dolby Digital is not being output, the TV will simply go to PCM until it's back and it will automatically kick it on for you. All right, so we're all set. We got the ADAPTiQ done. We're ready to rock. Let me tell you what to set your bar to. Soundbar, +10, the bass on the soundbar, 80, and the treble on the soundbar, 70. The rear speakers, turn those to 100 and make sure that the switch is on. And then the bass module, I had to lower it to 60 because since the software update, it has literally doubled in sound. So do what you like, but 100 is very, very powerful. All right, just so you know, I'm gonna have to black out my TV because you can't do anything on YouTube these days without it pulling it off. So here is an audio clip of a movie. Check it out. I changed to a mic that does the whole room. Let's hear what it sounds like. All right, well, I know you probably couldn't enjoy that as much as I did, but I have to say it, whoa. I said in my first setup video that the Bose SoundTouch 300 and the 700 were basically the same, a wash. Today, and I kind of warned of it in the beginning, they did keep pressing forward with their new system, the 700, and I will say, wow, absolutely spectacular. The new 700 speakers really just took it to a whole new level. And I noticed that when I switch it back to the old versus the new, meaning the old surround, for some reason, it just recalibrates the way everything else sounds also. I think it's because they're putting more of, that back audio through those speakers and utilizing the module just for the bass and the bar specifically for specific sounds. And I gotta tell you, oh my God, this thing is worth the money and it is insanity. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna do a couple clips with the original surround speakers and the new with only those playing so you can kind of get a feel of what they sound like. All right, so first up, we're gonna do the original surround speakers and I'm gonna have them at 100 volume. And I, again, have the mic placed back there. Sorry if the audio on me is not great. Let's start with that. Now it's time for the 700 rears to try those out. Let's see what they sound like. Again, same exact audio clip at 100. So at the end of it all, definitely not sure if you could hear it like I can, but the 700 speakers turn this into a full-fledged bad mamma jamma. I have to say, these are awesome. Definitely the ones that you want. Again, the other speakers are fine. They do a great job. They sound great also, but if you want to take it to the next level, the 700 speakers are the ones you want to do. All right, well, we'll do one last listen to have this bad boy cranked up. I do want to remind you, you can upgrade to these speakers for the SoundTouch 300, the Bose 500, or the Bose 700. If you want to take it to the next level, I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna have to block out this video, but what I'll do is I'll do one more clip. I'll really crank it up, hopefully throw on some headphones or whatever you can do to hear this, just so you can get a taste of what this is capable of. Let's do it. All right, well, that wraps up video 2 on the 700 series featuring the all-new Bose Surround 700 speakers. I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you going to get these speakers? Do you think that they're worth 500 bucks? Or are you going to stick with the originals? I have to say, in my opinion, I think that the 700 are a definite upgrade. I honestly did not expect that when I unboxed them due to the size, but it is something that I can definitely recommend and feel strongly that if you follow my setup methods, that you will think that this system is absolutely spectacular. And don't forget, I do YouTube for you and you only. No one else, no one sponsors me. So if I did not answer something in one of my videos, reach me in the comments section. You can also find me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at JBTechFanatic. And guys, don't forget, life is so short. Don't forget to love your family, love your neighbors, take care of each other. Go out today and do an act of kindness for someone. The smallest gesture of kindness goes a long way. And the world is such a sick and twisted place, and the only people that can change it is you and I. I want to say thank you so much for joining me one last time. Invite you to subscribe if you have not, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And I can't wait to talk to you guys in the comments section and see you in the next video. And until then, I'm JB Tech Fanatic, and I'm out. Peace.